Hi, I'm Lily Collins, and I'm going to walk you through my skincare routine, and I'm going to take you through a clean day-to-night look with a little nod to Parisian glamour. My first step, I always make sure to spray my Beekeeper's Propolis Throat Spray. I like 3 sprays because 2 is just never enough for me. I love it so much because it has propolis in it, which is an amazing immune system booster. It has a lot of antioxidants and it's so good for a scratchy throat, which sometimes I wake up with. Next, because I'm obsessed with essential oils, I always use my Sage Peppermint Halo, which is a little touch of magic. You go all the way around to here to here. It really wakes you up and it really helps alleviate headaches if you ever have any. It's a good way to start the day. Time to wash the face now. Just put a little bit in my hand. I started to use this face scrub a little while ago, which is amazing because it starts to really get in there. I started taking care of my skin when I was really, really young. I always remember my mom having so many beauty steps before bed, and she always smelled so good after all of them, and her skin always looked so clean and clear. And I know that within my job, I have so much makeup on every day after filming, and it would be so much easier to just go to bed with everything on, but it's so bad for your skin. So I think I just became really vigilant with cleaning my skin every night. Now, I'm just gonna wash it off. Okay, now that my skin's all dry, I'm going to apply the next step, which is toner. I've always used this toner with witch hazel because it's just such a classic. A little bit on a cotton pad. You just wipe it all over. So next, I use Advanced Genifique Serum. It has hyaluronic acid for the hydration and vitamin C to fill in the fine lines, which is so great. And it gives my skin such a healthy glow, which who doesn't want a healthy glow, right? So all you do is tap the top to get some of it in here. And then you just do a couple little drops. And then you apply softly to your skin, and it smells so yummy, which is so good, and it feels so soft going on. Oh my gosh, I can already feel my skin becoming hydrated, thank goodness. And what I love to do also is I love to use a jade roller. Sometimes I put it in the fridge or the freezer to make it extra cold, but I love doing this because I feel like it really helps lock in that moisture for the healthy glow. I just love to do it. You have to, by the way, roll it outwards. You never want to go back and forth. You want to do it towards the lymph nodes, and you just do it until you feel like your skin is extra set and firm. So like I said, because my skin sometimes is a little not as hydrated as I'd love for it to be, I always love to use this spray, a rose hibiscus spray, which has actually a little bit of coconut water in it. Spray a little bit. Oh, it sometimes smells like I'm on a vacation, which we could all do with a little bit right now. We have to go feature our lips now. So this Ultra Sexy Scrub, made by Handmade Heroes, smells, again, so good. It's coconut sorbet. That I rub it in and exfoliate all over, because when you later apply your lipstick, you definitely want it to go on evenly. I love to add a little bit of lip balm just before we start the makeup process to make sure my lips stay extra hydrated. The next step before I put on the makeup is sunscreen. And I love to use Aquagel UV Expert. And it's actually a primer before your makeup as well as a sun protector, which is so great because sometimes sunscreen can be a little bit goopy with makeup, but this is so perfect. It goes on so smooth. And I was shooting a movie actually in Montreal called Mirror Mirror, where I play Snow White. And obviously with Snow White's skin supposedly having to be as white as snow, I couldn't get sunburned, which makes total sense. So the makeup artist always encouraged me to wear so much sunscreen to protect myself, and now after that I swear by it and wear it every single day. So on to the first step of my makeup routine, which is Teint Idole foundation, which is so perfect for a lightweight feel. It's super versatile, which is my perfect partner for the je ne sais quoi kind of no makeup look, but it's 24-hour long lasting coverage as well. So what I like to do is take this partnered with the Genifique serum, because this makes it actually more of a medium coverage and it adds back that healthy, radiant glow that I was talking about. So it's just kind of the ideal combo. Take this and I put about a quarter size like this Then I take the Je ne Fixe serum again, do a little pop on the top, add just a couple of drops to that, mix them all together, and then I'm just gonna put a couple little dots. And now I just take the sponge. It really does feel super, super lightweight, but I know that it's gonna give me that perfect coverage too, and it lasts so long, so it's perfect. Something that I love about the je ne sais quoi French girl vibe of the like no makeup is I've always loved fresh, clear skin. And I've always been someone that's kind of about like less is more. I've always said the less you have on your face, the less there is to go wrong throughout the day. Let's just check to make sure that I'm totally blended. Okay, so now I'm gonna move on to Absolute Powder. Make sure that I am totally even everywhere. On to blush. We're gonna use Blush Satil. So I'm just gonna apply it right here. One thing that I'll never forget throughout the years is when I was younger, I hadn't really fully embraced how naturally pale my skin was, and so therefore I wanted that kind of LA tanned glow, and I fully used tanner on my face a little too much. I had too much bronzer, and I never really put it on correctly, so I had a bit of a mishap, and I think that now that's taught me a lot about contour and how to embrace and enhance the radiance of my skin being lighter, but also allowing the angles of my face to kind of stand out as well. So for me, contour is kind of my best friend as opposed to too much bronzer, because I learned the hard way in a lot of prom photos from back in the day. We don't want a repeat of that anymore. Okay, so now we're moving on to one of my favorite parts of my beauty routine. It's all about the brows. So first I'm gonna use Le Monochromatique highlighter, and I'm gonna use it in a very different way, I think, for me to highlight the brows. What I like to do is take a brush and very, very lightly swipe it across my eyelid. Ooh, you can already see some of the sparkles. And I like to make sure that I'm putting it just under the brow, right there, to enhance and highlight the shape of the brow. Because for me, shape is key. And you know, interestingly enough, it's not always something that I embraced. Made the mistake a couple times, one very specific time, of overly plucking them. And I remember going to dinner that night with my mom, being very proud actually of what I had done. And she stared at me and she was just like, "What have you done? They may never grow back." And so from that day forward, I've been way more vigilant on not over plucking. And I've learned to embrace them. And for me, they're one of my favorite qualities about beauty and skincare, because they say so much about your personality, and they really help accentuate any of your emotions, because your brows, as you can see as I'm probably talking, they're like lifting up in excitement. I think that they're just something that's so fun to embrace and enhance about your face. So that being said, the next thing that I love to do is brush them out. So I just like to go up and bring it over. Now we get to go on to my eyes, and I use Grandiose liner. It's a great liquid liner, which we love, especially for this little French girl flick that we're gonna go for. I go in real close to the mirror, and I usually like pull back my eye a little bit like this. Whoop! Flick it out like that. And now, the key is matching it to the other side, which is not always the easiest. So let's try to see if I get it on the first go around. All right, then you lean back in, hold it out. I think it's pretty even. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Obviously, I'm gonna add mascara next, so it's gonna just all go out and match. But I think that right now, all I have there is the little flicks, and we're ready for some mascara. I'm going to accentuate it by using Monsieur Big mascara. I have to say, mascara has always been one of my favorite beauty items. It's probably this, along with Juicy Tubes, were actually one of my first purchases as a kid wearing makeup. I remember going to the beauty counter and picking out mascara and just feeling like my eyes just popped so much. And even if I was a little bit sleepy, Mascara always does the job of bringing your eyes out and open. So I love, love, love adding some mascara. Doing it like this. I'm also going to take that brow brush I think that I used and lightly sweep through these to make sure that they feel extra separated. Ugh, I love, love, love how this mascara adds so much volume to my lashes. They just come alive. Okay, so now that we've done all of this, we're gonna move on to the lips. So first I'm gonna use L'Absolu Rouge lipstick. Today, because obviously we're going for a more no makeup look, and we're accentuating more of the eye, I decided to go with a nude. And thank goodness we did our lip scrub earlier. Okay, so either you could keep it as is, which I'm obsessed with, or you can add a little bit of color with Juicy Tube on top. So I'm just gonna do a little gloss on top. Juicy Tubes are super reminiscent of my childhood because I remember going to the beauty counter and seeing all the colors lined up and being in awe. It was almost like a kid at a candy store, and I wanted to get all the colors, and I remember this was kind of that way of wearing makeup, but also having it be a little off the radar, and getting away with actually wearing it in school, which was really, really fun. And they're super easy, they're super colorful, which I love, and they go on really, really smooth. They add a little bit of radiance, and they smell amazing. I like to just put it in the middle. All right, so now that we have the face done, we're gonna move on to hair. You don't always have to shower and have your hair look perfect to have that kind of je ne sais quoi thing. So I'm gonna take out my hair. Bear with me. Woo! All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of dry shampoo. I love the Detox Clear by Dry Bar. Just lightly spray. So I feel like that's good for the hair. We're on our final steps here, guys. The next one is like such a real thing that we all do on a daily basis, and since I'm ready to almost get out of these and put my clothes on, you gotta put some deodorant on. I like to use Corpus deodorant. It's all natural ingredients, which is amazing, and it's in like this beautiful packaging. Just go here, go here. Then we move on to hand cream, rubbing all that in. Okay, so now we're on to the last step before I change, which is perfume, which I love. La Vie est belle, which means life is beautiful in French. It just makes me miss Paris. I was there for a couple months last year filming Emily in Paris, and this just brings me right back. So I love spraying it. It has vanilla and iris, and it just makes me feel so happy. All right, so when I spray it, I just do a light little spray on my neck. I always spray my wrist, just do a little tap. And then sometimes I spray the air, just let it fall all over me. Maybe imagine that I'm back in Paris. Take a little travel trip in my head. So this perfume honestly lasts all day, and it has such a beautiful feel, and it makes me feel like I'm in Paris all day, and who doesn't want that? Okay guys, well, this is the final look. Mwah! Au revoir!